Hi, everybody. I wanted to quickly come on and introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my background. My name is Maureen Bonifin. I'm a strategic grant consultant and CEO for Affinity Grant Insights. So I originally went to school to become a high school math teacher. I got my degree in math education and then went on to get my teaching credential. And during that process, I got burned out and had a conversation with my husband, and we decided to move where we wanted to live and then find jobs from there. And that's how we ended up here on the Palouse. The Palouse is a region in North Idaho and straddles into Washington. And we ended up here in 2006. And at that time, I went looking for jobs in the region, and I found a job at a large land grant research institution as a grant accountant. So in the process of getting my degree, I'd also taken units towards getting an accounting minor. And that gave me the education background that I needed to work in the grant department. So I worked in this post-award grant management department for a while. And in that process, I realized that a lot of the problems we were seeing post-award could actually be solved if we addressed them at the proposal stage. And so from there, I moved into a position with our extension system. And the extension system has faculty across the state in every single county. And I worked with those faculty from cradle to grave, from pre-idea to closing out of award, to help them develop the grants and manage the grants. And in that process, I also got to work with a lot of community organizations that they were partnering with on these grants that we were developing. And I realized in that process that our community partners didn't have the same level of help that the faculty had, and that they could do a lot more impactful work if they knew more about how to craft proposals and manage grants when they got funded. And so that sparked an idea that maybe I could eventually become my own boss, because that's always been something that I wanted to do, hence getting a potential minor in accounting. But I never really knew what I wanted to do as my own boss. And it was there that I realized this is something that people need, and this is something that I can do. But before I decided to actually launch that, I wanted to get a bit more experience on the proposal side, on crafting very competitive proposals, because I was helping faculty with proposals that we could easily craft together and get funded pretty quickly. But where I really saw a need was in really competitive proposals and getting those funded. And so I moved into a position in our research development office. And that office helps faculty from ideation stage through strategizing stages, into writing stages, and into submission on grant proposals. I worked on many, many different proposals, and some of those proposals were for large center type grants in which we worked with a lot of community organizations, nonprofits, economic development districts, after school programs, all of these different people out in the communities to do the outreach and do the education in communities. And so again, I got a lot more experience about what all of the different types of organizations may need in order to be competitive in a grant. And so I stayed there longer than I wanted, about 6 years. At the end of those years, I was both ready professionally and personally to launch my business. I was tapped out as far as how far I could advance my career at the university, and I'd built up enough in savings to actually launch a consultancy and have some stability there. And so for the last 2 years, since 2022, I have been running my own consultant business. Most of my clients have been in the academic space because that is where a lot of my connections were. And unfortunately, that's where people can pay me. So I want to reach out to the more smaller organizations, the nonprofits, the after-school programming, those who need help, but may not have the budgets to pay for a one-on-one consultant who can really write a full proposal for you. So that's why I've decided to go ahead and jump online and do some web videos. In these videos, I want to talk about any topic that's on your mind around grants. What are you struggling with, either in writing your proposals or in managing your grants? I want to do some really quick videos about that. And then eventually I want to build this out to an actual training that people can take and benefit from. So if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the chat, or you can email me at maureen@affinitygrants.com. I would love to meet you. I would love to start a conversation. Welcome to my channel.